Canada Dreams, the immigration podcast. I'm your host, Umar. I am an immigration lawyer at Treadstone Law. This podcast is brought to you by Treadstone Law. The goal of this podcast is to help the average immigrant or person who's looking to apply for temporary residency, permanent residency, or any Canadian immigration program. It is to provide you up-to-date, relevant immigration news. One of the initiatives that we've taken at Treadstone Law is to ensure that we're always providing free content to help people stay informed. This information should not be behind a paywall, and more importantly, it should not be confusing, complex, and all over the place. Our goal is to make it simple and concise and easy for you to understand. Now, the goal of this podcast, so we're going to be going over everything Canadian immigration. So, whether it's talking about immigration pathways or relevant developments in jobs and employment, developments that apply to the average immigrant. And we essentially, the goal is anything that is Canadian immigration. That's our topic. If it's developing, it's news, it's relevant, we talk about it. It's brought to you by Treadstone Law. Here's quick facts about Treadstone Law. We have 30 offices across Canada, but we also offer completely digital at-home services. So you can receive complete immigration services from the comfort of home. We provide both phone and video call options, so you're able to receive the full spectrum of options available from home. We offer not just Canadian immigration, we have a full service of practice areas, including family law, corporate law, tax law, and real estate law as well. And we release a lot of free immigration content on Treadstone Immigration across social media channels. Now, when it comes to immigration, we offer a few unique benefits that we've developed based on our understanding, speaking to our clients, speaking to people that have gone through the immigration journey. We provide affordable flat rates, interest-free payment plans, a best price guarantee. So your goal should be, who do you trust? Who do you want to work with? Not what is the best price. So you're getting the best price. And then finally, digital services. So you can receive services from home. So if you do need immigration services, contact immigration@treadstonelaw.ca. But we also have a special offer that I'm going to be mentioning at the end of this podcast. So stay tuned. But if you need immigration services, contact immigration@treadstonelaw.ca. So again, today is April 1st, Monday, April 1st, Easter Monday. So we have a few developments ongoing. People on the TikTok part of the immigration part of the TikTok algorithm, or the Reels or Shorts algorithm, you've probably seen a lot of protests ongoing in British Columbia over the changes to the permanent residency guidelines. So there were a number of changes. Now, STEM's master's students no longer automatically qualify for the provincial nominee program. It means that they have to meet certain other prerequisites to qualify for the PNP program. So this is a big change. This is why a lot of people are protesting. A lot of people are unhappy, and there are two takeaways that for this change. One takeaway is specifically for those students who are impacted. So, piece of advice that I can give that is relevant to you, that you can do in response to this. And the second takeaway is for anyone that's going through any part of any immigration journey in Canada. So whatever you're applying for, there is another takeaway as well. So the first takeaway, often when you're going through this immigration journey, you're looking at, maybe you found a particular program and you start making decisions all based on that program, and then something like this happens, and now you feel like you're left with nothing. The good news is there are a lot of other programs that STEM graduates qualify for. So yeah, it sucks that now you have to get a job offer to qualify for the PNP program, and hopefully you get a job offer. But at the same time, you should keep pursuing that job offer, and then also considering, okay, I have all these other options, because as a STEM graduate, you have a lot of skills to offer, and there are a lot of other programs that allow you to gain permanent residency in Canada. So the BC is not your only option as a STEM graduate. So that's the takeaway for you guys. Takeaway for everyone else is similar. It's that you should not look at your immigration journey as, particularly when it comes to permanent residency, this applies, but it applies to others as well, as this is the one program I'm applying to, this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I have to make the best application. And usually that's express entry PNP. Um, Now, you shouldn't consider it that way because you should consider the fact that there are multiple other options available. For example, just in terms of the PNP, there's a ton of PNP options available. So there's a lot of different provinces. In fact, we recently released, or I think we're on in the process of releasing, 1 to 2 minute videos on different PNP programs in Canada on our social media channels to help you get an overview of those programs so you can understand what they are quickly, and you get an idea of whether you need to understand more or it's just not something that you would qualify for anyways. So they're 1 to 2 minutes. We're releasing new videos every few days, I think 3 4 days a week. So just subscribe across our social media channels and you'll be able to get those videos and understand the different programs. Next piece of news: Canada increased the duration that Canada increased the duration of interim work authorization letters for international graduates. Okay, so they increased the validity period from 120 days to 180 days. So this is uh, particularly for people who are waiting for a decision for their work permit application. So essentially, you're getting more time. Now, in addition to this, there were other administrative changes that came into effect across the board. So the permanent residency or the IRCC application fees, they've also changed. It's not in this particular article, but there are other articles that were released recently talking about that, where and press releases by the IRCC as well, where the fees for immigration applications have changed. They've increased. So as of now, as of today, April 2024, the amount you'll be paying to go through the IRCC process has increased, and they've made the new fees valid for 2 years, so until 2026. And the last change was for in 2020 or 2022, so it was for about 2 years as well. Now, this is a trend. Obviously, with inflation, higher costs, the costs have been increasing over time. So I think it's safe to assume that it's going to continue to increase as well over the years. Our final topic. Now, I'm going to go a little bit fast and concise because I'm kind of losing my voice, but I want to make sure you guys get the the um, three main topics for today covered in detail. So recently, we've talked about this a few times. The Canada has set its first ever cap on temporary residents, including international students, foreign workers, and asylum claimants. So last week or the week before, we talked about the cap on international students and what that was doing. And so this is more focusing on temporary residents overall. For context, last year we had the highest growth for our population in Canada on record. And I'll tell you why all of this is relevant for you as an applicant for any program. So we had the highest growth. And now what they're doing is they're looking to decrease the number of temporary residents to 5% of the population, down from 6.2% over the next 3 years. That's huge. So that means that there's going to be a significant there's going to be a significant decrease in the number of temporary residents either getting their renewal or getting admitted, because that's the only way you can reduce your temporary resident population. And or there could be an increase in the number of temporary residents that are getting their permanent residency. That's also happening, right? So you have higher permanent residencies, less renewals because maybe it's the belief that it's just not the right fit, and then finally less people being admitted. So the pro is if you're in Canada as a temporary resident, you have your student visa, your work visa, whatever it is, you're in Canada. Now you have to make sure you get that permanent residency. And so the the con is that as they're reducing the population, it's either you're going to get your PR or you're going to get out, right? So you have to make sure that you're considering that. That's the only way that that can be reduced, counting yourself in that statistic. So what I would say is my advice, or our advice generally at Treadstone Law, is to plan. Plan your journey. Look at what you're doing. You're applying for, maybe you're in a school program, your university program, you're looking for a job. Maybe you're having a hard time getting a job. That's a common experience. Now look at what skills you have. Maybe you need to consider related industries that will get you permanent residency, because sometimes that can happen as well, where you're able to get a job in a particular niche industry in a province where there's a shortage, and then you're able to get a PNP or get permanent residency through another stream by going down that avenue. So you have a set of skills. You're not necessarily fitting into one profession. You have a set of skills. So see where your skills can best be used, and then you're able to get the best pathway to permanent residency. And sometimes it is that profession that you're in, and sometimes it's not, right? And it's understanding there are a ton of options in the Canadian immigration system, a ton. You have to know what are available to you, and you have to apply for the right option. So that covers our final topic for today. So just wanted to, again, before we conclude, I wanted to give you guys a free offer. So before I get to the free offer, just wanted to quickly tell you about the benefits of working with us: flat rates, interest-free payment plans, best price guarantee, and completely digital services. Ton of free resources on Treadstone Immigration across our platforms. And right now we are offering a free intro call and 25% off immigration services. So if you're interested, email immigrate.treadstonelaw.ca/2024. Visit immigrate.treadstonelaw.ca/2024, or the link is in the description, or email immigration@treadstonelaw.ca with the subject line 2024. Right, so that's it. Subject line 2024, immigration@treadstonelaw.ca, and then send an email, and we'll book your free intro call, and you'll receive 25% off immigration services. The link is below. Thank you for joining me. See you guys next week at the next episode of Canada Dreams, the